friends, hope you're whelmed. My name's Jess, and today we're going to be taking a look at cozy games for Halloween. Spooky season is upon us once again, and for me that means Leica films, Halloween candy, and cozy games. It should be noted that I'm world's biggest scaredy cat, so all the games I mentioned today have earned their spot on this list purely based on vibes. The only game that might actually scare you is the first one. These are all games that you might like if you enjoy The Nightmare Before Christmas, Paranorman, Monster House, or Gravity Falls. Before we get into this, please check each game's trigger warnings. If they're interesting to you, I know everyone has a different threshold, so just be aware. I organized everything by price without tax this time because Halloween candy is expensive, and I want you to be able to load up your cart with sugar and games that are new to you this year. I'm just going to go ahead and put our most controversial game choice first, and that's because a whole bunch of people will find GIBBOUS, a Cthulhu adventure, the exact opposite of cozy. It's marketed as a dark cosmic comedy, and I cannot stress this enough. Please check trigger warnings. It straddles the line between cozy and, okay, actually horror, and the ending was left wide open. I would absolutely not recommend this if you need airtight happy endings, or if you dislike open endings in general. Also, for the next 10 seconds, I'm going to drop some pretty big spoilers, so skip ahead. I'll put the big spoiler text up on the screen while I talk. Kitty becoming a many-tentacled monster at the end confused the daylights out of me. I'm glad she didn't really die and didn't seem too hurt, but what the heck was that ending? Despite its flaws, though, there's a lot to love about GIBBOUS. It was very clearly a labor of love for its dev team, and even if the destination left me confused, the journey was, overall, worth it. I don't know how to describe this beautiful, hand-drawn hidden gem other than to honestly say that if you like your cozy with a side of spooky, you'll love this. A point-and-click puzzle game that lets you examine almost everything just for fun, you'll spend hours unraveling the mystery of the Necronomicon and its devious magic, along with Buzz, his acerbic talking cat Kitty, and the ever-stoic Gumshoe, Dawn archetype. The art direction, music, characterization, and voice acting are all top-notch, and one of my favorite parts about it is that you can actually highlight every selectable element on screen. I don't usually care too much about Steam achievements, but there's something about the world of GIBBOUS that made me want to check off every single one. I'm not quite there yet, but maybe in my next playthrough. Also, I would love to talk about the ending with someone because, obviously, right? The best way I can describe Beacon Pines is if Gravity Falls and Stranger Things adopted a child, and that child happened to be from Zootopia. That is to say, don't be fooled by the cutesy, big-eyed art style. It gets really creepy really fast. Enshrouded in the decrepit, stagnant mining town of Beacon Pines is Luca Van Horn, a young deer living with his distant grandmother after the mysterious disappearance of his mother. Luca's just trying to enjoy his summer vacation while his hometown decays around him, but when a fun day spying on an abandoned factory leads to either a kidnapping, a conspiracy, or never seeing the light of day again, just trust me. Obviously, this is a game where your choices matter, and each one takes you down a different path. Well, when those are his only options, Luca and his best friend Rollo are entangled in a web of secrets, whether they like it or not. There is a true ending, and it's up to you to keep playing and unravel the secrets in this secluded little town. I've played this game through twice already, and I have no doubt that I'll keep playing it, because even though I know how the story ends, the journey is always worth the destination. Also, despite the creep factor, a good story about true friendship always gets me. To counterbalance GIBBOUS, our third game is one you can play while sipping a pumpkin spice latte in your comfiest armchair. It's not exactly spooky, but Halloween themed nonetheless. WHIMEL Academy is kind of what I wanted Hogwarts Legacy to be, and you can tell it takes a lot of inspiration from the world of Harry Potter. It's a witchy time management game that sees you enrolling in WHIMEL Academy, a 6-year-long magic school that allows you to live your best witchy life. Hone your magic by attending classes, working part-time jobs around campus, and socializing with your peers. You decide what kind of academic experience you'll have. You can attend every class or none at all, though I really recommend attending one of each to unlock new areas around the school, like the Forest or Alchemy Tower. The money you earn can be spent in shops on the weekend, where you have the chance to pick up books, equipment, or food to replenish your energy. Speaking of energy, if you're running low and need a quick top-up, don't forget to pay attention to your cat, who boosts several of your stats, energy being one of them. One thing I do want to mention is that the game markets itself as a dating sim, but it's not quite there yet. It's still in early access, so I know things will change, but if the dating sim was the lure this game hooked you with, maybe give it some time to develop. I had 2 save files at the same time, one with romance, one without. Despite choosing almost every single romance interaction when it came to Cyrus, our status only reached harboring feelings. He got angry because of some drama with other friends and then ghosted, which was actually hilarious in hindsight. I thought the characters were college age, but nope, high school. So I guess the all-eclipsing drama is pretty accurate. But I was also best friends with Theo and sort of friends with Lumi, and neither of them showed up in my epilogue either. So far, WHIMEL has 30 different endings to explore. I say so far because the game is still in early access, so it still has time to improve. Right now, the endings are a little bare bones and they could use some polish. But as a time management game, I still had a great time with it and would recommend this to anyone who needs a little magic in their life. As the saying goes, only 2 things in life are a guarantee: death and taxes, though this game conquers both with a twist. You play as the Grim Reaper, assigned by fate to do, well, what Grim does. Turns out, the process of reaping is much like any other bureaucratic, pencil-pushing office job, and if the boss isn't pleased with you, well, I don't know what actually happens when the boss is beyond exasperated with you, because when I played this for the first time, I figured out what that oft-fabled road is paved with when I took the reins, which is to say, I tried to help and then everything was on fire. This time, I overcorrected and became a boring office drone, which was its own adventure. Death and Taxes is one of those games where your choices definitely matter. What kind of afterlife do you want to lead? Are you angling for Employee of the Month, aiming to preserve the universe's delicate balance? Or are you there to shake up the status quo? I cannot wait for this team's next game, Craft, a fantasy merchant sim that's supposed to be out in January of 2025. Before we get further into the list, let me know down in the comments, what are the games that have your attention during spooky season? I'm always looking to try new games. Oh look, I'm about to tell you about a Detective Grimoire game again. But hear me out. Detective Grimoire Secret of the Swamp was released in 2014, and it still holds up. It's a lot simpler than its follow-up, Tangle Tower, but it more than makes up for it with its ominous atmosphere, creative puzzles, and memorable cast of characters. Just in case you've never heard of the Detective Grimoire games before, they're point-and-click mysteries with a vaguely supernatural flavor. If smart puzzles, stellar voice acting, an overall creepy atmosphere, and Sally's introduction don't hook you, just know that your main suspect in the case is a beloved local legend, also a famous cartoon character, Boggy the Bog Monster. It took me about 4 hours to finish this one, which will leave you lots of time to dive into the rest of the games in this video. If you've been howling at the moon for a cozy game that involves matchmaking, magic, and is totally free, you're gonna love this. Witches and Warlocks is a visual novel that sees you as a laid-back student whose primary hobby is matchmaking others. In fact, you're so laid back, you've forgotten that you have exams in a week and can barely cast any spells. Desperate to pass, you enlist the help of 4 new friends to learn spells, brew potions, find a job, and maybe even find love. Witches and Warlocks is fun, short, adorable, and a true test of time management. You only have a week before finals, which means you get to choose how to spend your time. Brewing potions will allow you to learn spells, but working extra shifts means more cash to buy potions. You'll need a good stock to participate in and pass your exam, so choose your potions and the corresponding spells wisely. You can actually fail the final exam, and there are no retakes, so it's best to save before you begin. As for the romance angle, you have 3 tutors helping you out. You can see 4 on my screen because I actually completed the game once and enjoyed it so much I bought the Werewolf DLC. Anyway, if you want to end up with a specific love interest, make sure that when you're given the choice to learn spells, you're choosing to spend time with them and learn their specific ones. You'll also have the chance to get to know random spells through the course of the game, which will also allow you to get to know your potential love interests a bit better. If you have absolutely no interest in pursuing a romance, that's fine too. You can choose to end the game happily single, but no matter what choice you make, you still have to pass your classes. Those are the games I've been loving this season, and hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. If you made it this far, I appreciate it so much, and I hope you're out there living your coziest dreams.